Hi, and good morning. My name is Christy Clemens Hoffman. I'm based in Kansas City, Missouri. I'm an angel communicator, animal communicator, metaphysician, and healer. And my website is radiatewellnesscommunity.com. I am also the owner of Radiate Wellness, a collaborative of 6 practitioners, mostly based in the Kansas City area, though we are international and have one of our practitioners, our astrologer and tarot reader, based in Geneva, Switzerland. And this is 52 weeks of angel connection. In late 2019, I decided, well, Spirit and I decided to bring YouTube lives each week to feature an archangel or ascended master. And we've been doing this each week for all of 2020. And this week I am focusing on Archangel Raphael, who we've all heard of. He is actually one of the pantheon of archangels that is more familiar, such as Michael, um, Gabriel, Raphael. So there were only 2 archangels that were mentioned in the Bible, and I believe Raphael was one of them. No, actually, it was Gabriel and Michael. So I don't believe Raphael was mentioned in the Bible. But we all know Raphael because he is just one that we talk about frequently. Archangel Raphael is the healer of the archangels. Of course, each archangel has their own thing that they master, that they help us with, that they deal with. So Raphael is healing. And I am reading from Doreen Virtue's book, Archangels and Ascended Masters. Doreen Virtue literally wrote the book on these beings, and this is a comprehensive guide for what these beings can help us with, where they're from, what they do, and how we can call them in. So Archangel Raphael is Judeo-Christian, also known as Labiel. Raphael's name means God heals or God has healed, based upon the Hebrew word Rapha. So that means doctor or healer. Rapha, of course, meaning doctor or healer. El, the suffix, means messenger of God. So Raphael is the messenger of God who deals with healers and healing. Raphael is a powerful healer of physical bodies, both for humans and animals. Those who call on Raphael are healed rapidly. It is said that he healed the pain that Abraham felt after being circumcised as an adult. I can imagine that would be very painful. Raphael can be invoked on behalf of someone else. Raphael will go to wherever he's requested, however, he can't interfere with that person's free will. If an ailing person refuses spiritual treatment, it can't be forced. However, Raphael's presence will have a comforting effect, which will aid in natural healing by reducing stress and anxiety. So Raphael helps us with addictions and cravings, eliminating and reducing addictions and cravings, helps us with clairvoyance, helps us with eyesight, that is that of the physical, also the spiritual, so the third eye, helps with guidance and support for healers and healing for humans and animals. He helps with retrieving lost pets, space clearing, spirit releasement, and travelers, relating to protection, orderliness, and harmony, which is wonderful. So a couple of things I wanted to point out. First, Doreen Virtue says that he will help on behalf of someone else, as long as that does not go against that person's free will. I see this in quantum healing hypnosis technique, which is one of the modalities that I provide here at my office in Kansas City. And in that work, we do seek, let me get this out of the way. We do seek physical healing when the client's subconscious does give permission for that. When it's in the client's highest and best good for that thing to be healed, then that it can be healed and removed. However, occasionally the client's subconscious will tell me the client is not finished with that yet. The client still needs to explore this malady, this dis-ease. This dis-ease is part of the soul contract, or this dis-ease is part of karmic balancing that is occurring. So sometimes, occasionally, it doesn't happen very often, but occasionally the client's higher self will step in and say, this healing is not in their spiritual good. And so we'll see that that is the case. And sometimes clients are holding on to stories, and that can block their healing. And even Raphael can't remove that. So the client has to want to be healed, or if we're asking on behalf of another person, that other person needs to want to be healed. That person needs to want to let go of the physical symptoms. The client and any person we're asking for healing for needs to believe that it can be removed, that it can be healed. And that is important as well. We do require belief in that process. If you place all of your faith in doctors, and doctors definitely have their place, and we should definitely be under care of a physician if we have some sort of physical disease. However, we can also look at things in a spiritual nature and need to come together to effect a complete healing. In fact, I often talk to my clients about, if we imagine your healing journey as a mountain that we're wanting to get through. Think of the mountains in Switzerland that they tunnel um, roads through, and they don't go around the mountain; they tunnel through the mountain. So we're thinking of this physical issue as a mountain that we're wanting to get through. On one side, we're doing all of the medical stuff. We're taking the pills. We're getting the vaccines. We are doing the treatments. We are doing the surgery. On the other side, we are listening to our higher self and knowing, is this treatment in my best good? Is this course in my highest alignment? And if it is, then we do it, right? But also on the spiritual side, we're looking at, well, what were the causes of this disease? What were the causes of this ailment? Was it my thoughts? Was it my beliefs? Was it my emotions? Was it a family pattern that I believed I needed to continue? Such as, my father had heart disease, I have heart disease, or diabetes runs in my family, then I am part of that family, so I get it. So we're working on this side as well, but we want to meet in, did I do it? Yes, we want to meet in the middle, right? So we're not going to have a complete healing if we're only doing the spiritual side, or if we're only doing the medical side. We really must have a complete emotional, spiritual, physical healing for it to be complete and for us to remain in wellness and wholeness. So this is Raphael's message as well. However, Doreen also mentions that Raphael's presence will have a comforting effect, which aids in natural healing by reducing stress and anxiety. Stress and anxiety are literally killers, and the body responds negatively to stress and anxiety. If we can reduce those in the body, then our stress response is lowered. The stress response is responsible for inflammation in the body. The stress response in the body is responsible for blood pressure and the diseases that come with blood pressure, in response to our own self-soothing, self-calming responses, which can be overeating, can be alcohol or drug abuse, and those are aids in dis-ease. So anything we can do to lower stress and anxiety in the body is going to ultimately be helpful. That's why meditation is truly the gold standard, and we're finding out more and more exactly how meditation can help us in health. And that includes spiritual and emotional, mental health as well. So if you don't have a meditation practice, please get one. Let me see what else Raphael wants to let us know. The light of God surrounds me. The love of God enfolds me. The power of God protects me, and the presence of God watches over me. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well. He's telling me, we've gone over this before. We've gone over this before. Let's see if he's willing to just reiterate what that is. That we're all in charge of our own healing and our own well-being. But in addition to that, we are responsible for the wellness of those who have not accepted the responsibility for their own wellness and well-being. We're responsible for our own wellness and well-being in terms of what we choose to put in and on our bodies. So we have better health if we put more natural things into our bodies and on our bodies. We have less natural health if we put artificial things and artificial components in and on our body. So the more natural, the more life-giving things that we put in and on our body are going to result in greater health. The less living, the further removed from live components we put in and on our body is going to contribute to less health and well-being. And there are a spectrum of these in and around us. I'm sitting in a beautiful office. There is paint on the walls. I guarantee that is not nor has ever had any living components in it. There are and that paint on the wall, the substance of the wall, gives off its own energy and frequency. There is carpet on the floor, and that was never living, and that gives off its own energy. There are lotions that I put on my skin this morning, and there may be some elements of those lotions that have a living aspect of it, but there are also elements of those lotions that do not have a living aspect. This morning I ate toast with cream cheese, and the toast was made from grains that had been living, but it's also been added to by grains that have been heavily processed, by things that are further removed from living. The cream cheese came from a living animal, again, processed in such a way where it's further removed. But there are always choices of what we put in and on our body. We can choose raw foods or minimally processed foods. We can choose foods that do not have as many ingredients in them. So it's all choices. So that's our personal responsibility. We know that we need to move and exercise. This afternoon, I'm going to get out and do a very, very long walk. And that's going to be my movement and my taking charge of my health. Also in charge of our health is our meditation, the thoughts, the energies, the emotions, the beliefs that we put in our bodies. We're responsible for that. However, we are responsible for others around us. That does not mean that I focus on healthful foods and products for my body, but I don't provide those for my daughter. It's just my daughter and me at home. But I don't provide things that are not healthful to my daughter, thinking, oh, she's responsible for her own health. Not at all. I provide healthy things for her and purchase items that are going to be in her highest and best good. And I can encourage her to eat them. I can tell her, no, you cannot have ice cream. That's her favorite. You cannot have ice cream until you've eaten something that's healthy first. So I can do that, but I cannot make her do anything. But I am responsible for providing things that are healthy for her, encouraging her to use those things. So in that way, I do have a responsibility for the greater good. My responsibility to them right now is to wear a mask in public and not gather in large numbers, is to insist on the places that I go, enforce policies of mask wearing among employees and social distancing among everybody else. That's what I can do that is responsible for other people's health. And that's very easy for me to do. I make masks. I have a couple that I rotate for myself and for my daughter. When we go out, We always practice social distancing. We wear our masks. And if I go out somewhere and I see that employees are not wearing masks or they have them around their chin and not over their face, then I don't go back. Quite honestly, I seek out places that are going to be more responsible to my health and my family's health. So we can make these choices, and we do have a responsibility to everyone else's well being as well. I believe that we are all human and we all came here at the same time to co create together. So I am going to take my responsibility to others very seriously because we are connected. All right, so that is Archangel Raphael and his message for this week. Please come back next week, and I'll be speaking with another archangel or ascended master. If you would like to request some of these spiritual beings, if you would like to hear from a particular angelic presence, please message me. You can find me at radiatewellnesscommunity.com, or you can join our Radiate You, that's the letter U, Radiate You Facebook page. It's a subscription-based page, or it's a group actually, a subscription-based group. And it includes so much content. It has many interviews with different people around the world, as well as classes, replays of online classes that I give. It has other classes as well. So a lot of content for a very low price. But I always put out a poll on that Radiate You premium Facebook group. And the poll is about which archangels are ascended masters. So feel free to PM me, or you can go vote in the poll at Radiate You Facebook group on Facebook. All right. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next week. Much love to you.